I think this is deep.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We bring power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator. I'm grateful to our ancestors for being present with us and for creating this opportunity yet again for us to be able to be on here. And I just ask that this show, let it be guided, let it be very spiritually uplifting, let it be emotionally stimulating, let it be entertaining, fun, and overall, let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners. I send out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, peace, great health, and wealth to each and every person who is out there. Hotep, amen, ashe, aibobo. Yo. I am excited for this show. We're diving into culture, we're diving into community, we're diving into what you guys already know we are about. Stay tuned as we take a pause for cause, and we'll be back with
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
the beautiful people. We are back. So like I had mentioned at the top of the show, it is time to talk culture, and there's no better representatives than our very own cultural ambassadors, West Can Folk Performing Company. We have the one and only Auntie P, Grand Rising Auntie P. Thank you for being with us, and the lovely Shy babe. Thanks for being with us today as well.
Hello. Morning.
Yes, guys. So basically, so first off, before we dive into the sauce, as you guys know how we like to get down, Auntie P, is it your first time on with us on the Empower Hour as a guest? Is this our first time having you?
I think a long time ago, on the Empower Hour, the other iteration, I was a guest there, but I think on Empower Hour, because you guys like soca, right?
Yes, we love soca over here.
I'll try to be here.
So for those who might be hearing you for the first time, or who might have been living under a rock somewhere, who might not know who Auntie P is, can you take a moment to just please introduce yourself to our listeners?
My name is Pat Dillon Moore, and believe it or not, Pharaoh, there are tons of people who don't know who I am or what I've done culturally in the city. And if this is the first time you're hearing me or hearing of me, I have been a long time cultural practitioner in Montreal, dating back 40 years. You name it, I've done it. If it's Afro and Caribbean arts, whether it's the literary arts, film arts, music art, dance, I've been around. I myself am a storyteller with a long background in the Canadian documentary film scene and the music scene. And my latest iteration is that of the new title, Arts Imaginator. And what that means is that if you're an artist, because I've been doing arts and consuming arts around the world, sometimes you might not know what to do with it. So I imaginate it for you and tell you and ignite you and show you how to go that much further.
I love that. Did you say art imaginator? I love that term.
I've been using it for 18 months because, as you know, as Shiata and Westcan and several other people, from students in university, I'm the one who have written those letters of endorsements. If I had 10 cents, I gave them 8 to do a job. Or when people say, I'm doing this, but I'm not too sure, because I probably have seen something similar, I said, you know what? Here's what I see in the market, blah, 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 blah. So I stimulate and reignite creativity in predominantly Black artists, but I've worked with all types of artists in my 40-year career.
Hey, watch out. My name is Eric Donaldson. Yes, man, listener. When I am in Montreal, I listen to CKUT 90.3 FM for positive vibes and West Indian rhythm. Boom Boom Tyme, roots rock reggae.
I love it. I love it. So then, it's a perfect match for what Westcan has going on. And so, Shai, I know you're no stranger to the show, but you know the people want to hear you. The people they love to hear from Shai. So if you just please take a moment for those who might not know who Shai is, if you could please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Montreal and the world. My name is Shiata Lewis Rouse, often known as Shy or referred to as Shy by my loving husband, Pharaoh. Yes, I'm Shiata from Westcan. I am presently the artistic director with a great, exciting project that we have to talk about today. So, yeah, I am Canadian born to Trinidadian parents, went to Trinidad at a very young age, and had a wonderful experience growing up in the Caribbean. Didn't know I was actually Canadian until we came back to Canada. And coming from Canada, living in the Caribbean, now back in Canada to finish my schooling, we grew up with a sense of not really knowing where we belong. And through Westcan, Westcan Folk Performing Company, it has helped us, when I say us, I mean myself and my siblings, to kind of inspire our creativity, inspire our love for our Caribbean folk culture, and developing that through arts.
I love that. I love it, and it's a perfect segue. Thank you for that alley-oop, babe. You're awesome. So the so we're now talking about Westcan, and I feel you guys need a round of applause. So Drew, just plug in the round of applause here for me, because I know you guys were recent recipients to StarCan. Yes, and what I really enjoyed is I remember I think the president of the organization was speaking on another one of our community shows. Shout out to all the community shows. And he took some time to really deep dive on why he felt Westcan was award worthy, and he spoke no lies. Like in terms of himself coming, like your story as well, but he is witnessing it as an adult now, going back and visiting his hometown. I can't remember where it is right now. I think I want to say Barbados, but the point is he's out there and he's watching the folk performers. And he's watching what, like the fact that, how beautiful it is and how it really, it encapsulates the culture and the roots and the history. And he's like, the only group I know that really ensures that the culture stays alive is Westcan. And he's like, and the thing is, he's like, and people, we take it for granted. So again, here, how we like to get down. We love to give our flowers. While people are here to smell them. So again, just giving you the love and the acknowledgement to Westcan for what you guys are doing. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? This is Usher chilling on CKUT 90.3 FM, baby. Out.
All right. So with that, actually, so if you guys, I don't know who's best to maybe explain what Westcan is. Maybe Shai, it's you. But can you please, for those who might not have heard, aside from my accolades and stuff I just gave it, can you please share what is Westcan for those who might not know?
Yes, sure. Westcan is an Afro-Caribbean folk performing group that was founded here in Montreal over 45 years ago, I would say, and basically was born out of the sadness and longing for home being the Caribbean, where a lot of our elders got together, especially near Christmas time, to fellowship, sing parang songs, and just be together and eating familiar foods from the Caribbean and so on, and just feeling the warmth of the Caribbean over the Christmas holidays. People started to get together and sing and dance, and they said, hey, let's start a group. And that's basically the short story of how WestCan started all those years ago. And since then, we've been developing our courses in Caribbean folk dance, drumming, singing, and storytelling. The group has traveled many, many, many places to Belgium, New York, performed in New York, across the Caribbean to different Caribbean islands. And we continue to learn and keep our close connection with our Caribbean brothers, well, relatives, basically, to always keep a foot and keep abreast to the culture, because we don't learn only about one particular Caribbean island. We've learned and we study right across the Caribbean region about the folk customs and traditions.
I love that. And so then, and when you say the courses and programs, because then let's use this opportunity to double dip, shameless plug. I know we have registration opportunities right now. So if you guys could please just elaborate before we dive into, the sauce in terms of why we're here. If you could let the people know about that, please.
Sure. We have children's classes actually starting off at the end of October in 2 weeks. And well, it would be about now. So let's say for November 2023 until May, we have our children's classes. And the registration is online. You can send us an email if you're interested, westcanfolk@gmail.com. And just let us know that you're interested in the classes, and we can send you more information. And there's also information on our website, westcanfolk.com.
Let's take a quick positive cause just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of hjcourtierauto.com. That's HJCOURTIERAUTO.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M-City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to WestCan Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the melanated community resource hub and network. What does that mean? we're here for each other. Amazing. So as we are talking, you guys keeping the culture alive. As we're talking, keeping the culture alive. One of the I want to say pinnacles, if I could use that word. Did I use it in the right context? I think I did. One of the pinnacles of our Caribbean culture is our carnival. And you guys have been awarded some funding that I cannot remember what body, but I'll let you guys go into all that. You guys were blessed to be able to create this project to help keep the carnival culture alive. So I'm going to just go on mute and just listen to you guys break down what this project is about, how the experience have been, and what is coming up for the people.
Well, I have 10 seconds of age on those of you on the phone. And I'm going to go back because a lot of people don't know the context, and they come out and see something and imagine that it just arrived there like gnomes before Christmas or elves who just put gifts under the tree. But indeed, going back to the Black Writers Congress, which was in the 60s, and post the Sir George Williams riot, which was a watershed moment in race relations in Canada. I mean, at that time, when the burning of Sir George Williams, as it was called then, it is now Concordia, was the first time that people in this part of the world, and we have to understand there has been a Black presence in Canada for 400 years, but you often associate the word nigger with the US. You associate slavery with the US. But on that February 11th, 1969, world media, and it went around the world, saw white people of Montreal downstairs watching a fire on the 9th floor of the university and hearing the white chants going, "Burn, niggers, burn." And that, without going too much detail, so I'm going to urge the listeners to go and Google Sir George Williams' affair. Out of that came Trudeau the father sitting down with the Montreal Anglophone Black community because it was shocking, and saying, "What would you like see happen in the community?" And out of that sprung places like the Cotoneige Black community, which had another community group before it. But under people like Carl Whitaker, a real sitting down and structuring of community out of the Black community culture, the Black Community Council of Quebec, which grew out of NCC in Little Burgundy, neighborhood associations that spoke to cultural and capacity development and community development. We had our own day camps. We had our own award shows. We had all sorts of platforms for painting and music and artistry right through, that started with the carnival and ended off in August as part of Afro Festival. When the then Mulroney government killed grants and corporate sponsorship were unheard of in the Montreal Anglophone Black community, a lot of those groups petered away and died. I mean, for instance, Cotoneige is still around, and the West Island Black community was still around. But groups became independent and died. Within that, there was a second wave of migration of Montreal, and I'm sorry to be worthy, but I was thinking about the project, and this is where I see it sits. West Can started, 43 years ago, 42, 43 years ago. So they were coming into a very robust, almost sufficient Black community that had cultural life going back to the NCC days and the 30s and the 40s. But somewhere within there, when those groups died, culture died. The day camp where we learned to sing Che Che Kool-Aid and to sing all the folk songs, Coconut Woman is calling out, all of those things did not exist anymore. So really, West Can started and took up the slack and all those various cultural dances and has continued it. So if you see it as a relay race, unprecedented for me was this project where they finally got proper funding. And the 8-month project was Carnival Is. And the 10 months, 10-month project went back and readdressed. You know, every generation passes, you lose knowledge. So it went back to teach and also teach other communities about when you see a big mass down the street, no, you don't pluck the feathers out of it. The dances that you see, the characters. And so these were hands-on training for members for free that taught them how to write calypso. I'm so pleased that a new calypso song
But
was
wait,
written as part of this.
sorry for cutting you, because I also want to put a little focus or act on the importance and how timely it is in terms of what you guys are doing, because of the fact that, as our listeners know, 2023 we lost our carnival. And what
Exactly.
what West Can is doing is helping us to relay a foundation down, where from the base now you could understand, when, like you just said, what is actual carnival? When carnival hits the road, what does it actually mean? It is not a party, it is actually a cultural presentation. So now, so sorry for cutting you, but I just wanted to make sure that we put an axe on that.
Yeah, and
So, okay,
also
so
too, the Haitian community has grown up. And I'm going to turn the baton to Shiata in a second. The African community has grown as well. And we're very separate and divided. But through this project, when you took something like Carnival and drill back to Africa and the movement, the involuntary movement of a people to the Caribbean and throughout the diaspora, what was learned by going to the knowledge keepers is just that what is practiced in the French Caribbean is practiced in the English Caribbean and came with many people who migrated to the North America. So when I think of relationships at the city level, the provincial level, all of those people who we used to work with to do things and build up trust and understanding, they're gone. They don't know. And so I'm throwing it over to Shiata to do the deep dive into some of the things captured and learned and
I mean,
taught.
yeah, learned. This was a wealth of knowledge, this project, knowledge that we couldn't have even thought or imagined that we were going to get such rich, rich cultural information, and to also see the transfer from one generation to another, and just the blending and the mixing and the support. So this project is, if I could just circle back, is called Carnival is Mass Movement and Music. And in this project, we really wanted to reignite people's passion and understanding and joy for the Caribbean cultural expression, which is Carnival. And we looked at the different art forms that are involved in Carnival in order to educate people about what it is, give them like a sense of knowledge that, maybe I could bring a band next year. Maybe I know exactly what I can do at the end of this project with all the different elements that were involved. I feel confident and I'm going to contribute to my Caribbean culture, my Caribbean expression here in North America. Or if not, if at the end of the project, with all of the workshops and everything that the participants were able to participate in, with the knowledge of the help of our knowledge keepers, if at the end you decide, what, I know my culture. Nobody can come and tell me this or that about who I am or where I come from. My movements are on purpose and by design. I know how to represent my Caribbean culture. When I wear my costume on the streets, I wear it with pride. And I think that is something that can be a ripple effect as a masquerader when you are on whatever road, downtown Montreal, Toronto on the lakeshore, New York, on the Parkway, Miami, you name it, wherever you are in the world, as a masquerader, that confidence exudes, and that pride in your culture really ripples to everybody, that can see.
Woo! And you guys breaking it down, it excites me because what we're here to talk about is really the culmination of all of this. Like, really, it's time for the exhibition of all these months of work, the month of interaction, the months of workshops, the months of costume making, steel pan playing, songwriting, jokes, cries, ups, downs, lefts, rights. Every single thing is now coming to a head, and we're here to talk about it. So we have the exhibition of the carnival is mass music
movement and music. Yes.
Mass movement and music.
Yes,
beautiful. So what can we expect? Like basically, if we could break down the day, time, location, and what can we expect when we're coming out?
Sure. This event will be taking place on the 28th of October. That's a Saturday at 4 p.m. at Harold Greenspan Auditorium. And you can check our social media pages, West Can Folk at Instagram or on Facebook. You can check our website, westcanfolk.com, to find out more information about this event happening on the 28th. And
wait, I'm sorry about that. The location, for those who, when you just said the location, it wasn't one of our regular spots in the community. So it's like, wait, what place did you just say? Green, and what area is that in, and what's that across from? Can you just
yes,
paint that?
The Harold Greenspan Auditorium is actually the City Hall of Côte St. Luc at 5801 Cavendish Boulevard, directly in front of the Côte St. Luc, the Cavendish Mall. That's what it is. So it's the Harold Greenspan Auditorium.
Yeah, just hit me. Peace, this is Brother Africa Bambaataa on CKUT Radio, the radio station that's going to blow your mind and give you the soul power, make you move, get crazy. You better be ready. Rock, plan.
I think one of the things I'd like to add is this. We didn't have a carnival this year. There are a good handful of people who go to several carnivals in North America, but the ones who stayed behind, this is going to be your carnival showcase. This is where you will hear steel pan, and it's phenomenal that people in their 80s taught 3 generations of new pan players, and they'll be presenting 4 songs. You will see some of the traditional characters of a Trinidad and Tobago carnival.
And Grenada as well.
Some of the dances. And Grenada. Oh, yes. The job will be there, people. Job. And you will also hear Calypso, including the new Calypso that was ignited from the Extempo, where we got together. And once again, 3 generations of people got together and tried extemporizing new music. They were given a subject, and right on the spot they had to do it, like, and you could equate that to hip hop, where people just spit, right? They spit calypsos on various subjects. And you're going to eat food, you'll see dancing, you will lime, you'll hear the engine room, you will all of that in a prescribed time, right? From 4 o'clock on Saturday the 28th. But more importantly, you can't want for people more than they want for themselves. There was a huge outcry when there was no carnival. And I looked at it and I really wanted to just write epithets and bad word all over the Facebook, because I know, having gone out and begged some of the very people, some of them I see them on the Facebook, who balling and quick to ball racism, beg them a $20 and they're not there. How could you want something and not nurture it? How could you want something and not support it? So if there was a great response from people who sat down and took the time to drill back and learn, and that worth a little support. So if you're unable to make it, West Can Folk takes e-transfers, you need to support and nurture the culture. We well want to see you. I want to jump up in the pan side, we don't know. Yes, I talk different from people, right? Because we foster that cross-cultural learning and understanding.
Yeah, but I'm glad you just put the axe on the fact that yes, the money is a blessing, but having people's physical presence, especially when we're talking about the culture, is a huge value. Even so, for those who might not have a 20, but you could make yourself, like you can bring yourself there. Trust me, talk to somebody at the door. West Can will make sure you get you get in to experience the culture, because really at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I have to say that when we're immersing ourselves in it, and again, and this is something I would like for you guys to make sure that the people them understand, because it took a second for me to get accustomed to the fact that this is not a West Can show. This is not something where we're coming to sit down and watch West Can perform on stage. This is an opportunity where this is an exhibition. We are immersed in what is happening, people. So I that's why I really want to encourage the bodies them to come out. It's not just a matter of send the contribution. You want to come and experience this.
No, and also too, it's getting cold, eh? So if you don't, this is the last lap.
This is the last lap.
And jam. It has some of them not coming back out till New Year's Eve. So before the snow, you want to raise a vibration to carry you through. But it's important.
You don't want to miss it. You wouldn't want to miss it. I speaking of missing it, like when we first wrote for this project, again, we didn't know that, we couldn't have foreseen the cancellation of our carnival for 2023. But in missing it, it also added some fuel to this project, because we were able to see, like, listen, this is serious. This is us. This is we. And we have to, do for us and really educate ourselves and learn about how the role that we play here in North America, so we can come from a different vantage point, right? When you know who you are, people can't tell you differently, right? So
that's when.
Anyhow, that was just. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, sorry for cutting you, but so again, and I thank you all in terms of West Can for what you're doing and for keeping that culture alive. So one more time, I just want to reiterate just the high level location, time, contact information, most importantly, ticket price, just to for those who do want to contribute to the cause, and then we'll close off with some empowering words, because you guys know I'm going to ask.
Yes. So that's our Carnival is Mass Movement and Music exhibition on October 28th, where we will be looking at our Caribbean art forms through costuming, music, calypso, steel pan, and dance. So really, it's October 28th, Harold Greenspan Auditorium. Auntie Pat, you have the address for people?
5801 Cavendish Boulevard in Côte St. Luc.
Mm-hmm. Showtime is 4 p.m. and the tickets are $20. Right. So,
and where do we call for information?
For information, you can call 514-641-9149. That's
okay, 514. Thank you. Good. I was going to ask you. Our listeners need at least a 2-time repeat. And are there any particular sponsors anybody want to give a shout out to before we close up?
We like to thank the funders, because this has never happened before.
Right.
This has really never happened before, right? And I've been around almost 60 years. There has not have been as comprehensive a project in Quebec that delved into the carnival arts like this. And the response was fantastic. Sometimes we had to practically turn off the lights on some of the people who wanted to stay longer making costumes. And it wasn't only Caribbean people. We had some white people there. Let me call it played. White people were there too, learning. So I have to thank the funders for that.
Good. So shout out to the city of
the participants.
Sorry, go ahead.
You said the participants, and I think what I would say to you is, if you want to know value, go on the West Can Folk Facebook page, because we were able to do many of the events online. There is a 4-hour symposium on the history of Carnival, which is still there for viewing, and we brought in experts from Jamaica and Trinidad. There is the Calypso talk with Crazy Edwin Ayung and Sexy Star. So as much as some people will go, they give the people their money to do what they already love to do, but no, there was an important side of documentation, which is, it was a field of study. So things have been properly documented for posterity. And if the university in Toronto, OCAD, which has been offering carnival arts as a subject and a field of study in North America, in Canada, right? We did that without as much resources as a university. We took the money and spent a 20 like a 50. And so it behooves you, once again, I think my empowering words are, sometimes people see in you the very best of you. Step up and be a receiver. And the reception that I'd like to see is that you come out and reciprocate by coming out and supporting and show that you care.
And Shy, your empowering words for the people.
Great words. I wish I could be as prolific, but I'm learning. I'm studying at TP. So I don't know if I'm not one to speak and tell people what they should do or how they should live or anything, but I can only speak on myself. And I believe that when I walk in my power, in my passion, let's say, then I am that much more of a productive person to society and myself and my family. That's it. Do what makes you feel good. What empowers you.
I like that. And so as we close off here, guys, we have been blessed to sit with Pat Dillon Moore, or otherwise known as Auntie P, and the one and only Shy and Shiata Lewis Rouse. Both here representing West Can and the Project Carnival is Mass Movement Music. And we have the event coming up October 28th. Please, guys, we're looking forward to seeing you guys. It's been awesome. And again, West Can, we thank you for keeping the culture alive. And a special thank you for documenting, like Auntie P just said, archiving some of our legends, because it's like, all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. If something we learned from these past couple of years is don't take the wisdom and the knowledge of our elders for granted. Appreciate them while they're still here. Give them the flowers while they're here. And if you can, document their information, because they know man. Peace and blessings.
Kings and Queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.